Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Now, I know. Some of you have this rule that you don't sing or play Christmas music before Thanksgiving. I am well aware of that. I actually agree with that rule, but there's one problem. When you work at staff at a church, you have to kind of plan ahead. And so if I'm honest, we're actually starting to plan Christmas services now. Like, we're starting to think about them now. In fact, I would say we're actually probably a couple months behind. We should have probably done this back in July, but here we are. We're planning for Christmas, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to just kind of let you know what we're going to be doing Christmas at Peace with Christ. So we will have a 9 a.m. service on Christmas Eve. And the reason for that is Christmas Eve is one of those weird years it hits on a Sunday. So Christmas Eve is on a Sunday. A lot of us, we like to go to church Sunday morning. We won't have our normal 8 and 10:15, but we'll have one service at 9. It'll probably be, some Christmas songs, probably a quick devotion, but just it'll be a chance for us to just kind of gather and just talk about Jesus and worship him. And then later on in the day, we'll have a 3 p.m. and a 5 p.m. Those will really be our Christmas Eve service, where we do our best to kind of pull out the stops, our best to kind of celebrate Jesus in some new and exciting ways. And so we're really excited for that. So 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, Christmas Eve. And the last thing I'll make sure and mention is that we have decided, we've thought and prayed and talked to different people, but we've decided we're going to move our Christmas Eve services, all of them inside this year. And there's a number of reasons for that. One is the weather. We always seem to kind of be fighting the weather. Last year it wasn't during the Christmas Eve service, but it was really the few days before. We almost froze, some of us getting ready for Christmas Eve. And so that was a big challenge last year. The other thing we've seen is we've seen the numbers on Christmas Eve. We've kind of seen them go down outside. There's been kind of more people going to worship inside and less people outside. And so we just kind of feel like it's probably time for us to move it back inside. Now, we're not saying this is going to be forever. We may go back outside again, but for this year at least, we're going to move all of our Christmas Eve services inside our worship space. And the last thing I'll say is begin to pray now. I know we're early, we still got 3 months, but begin to think and pray now. Who is someone that I could invite to the Christmas Eve service? Who's somebody that I could invite to come with me and my family to just attend Christmas Eve? There's this crazy thing that I heard recently, that there's actually across America, there's 20 million people. That's a lot of people, 20 million people. Now again, they're spread across America, but there's 20 million people that used to go to church that don't go to church anymore. But they say in a survey that all it would take for me to go back to church is for someone to invite me. And that might be a friend or neighbor that they might be ready to go back to church. They're just waiting for you to invite them to go with you and your family. So I would just encourage you, begin to pray about that now. Who could I invite to go to Christmas Eve service in order that they might get connected to my church and most importantly, hear the gospel of Jesus, and just in the midst of their busyness and Christmas season, just hear that Jesus matters. So there you go, Christmas Eve. It's coming soon, I know. About 3 months, but it's coming soon. We'll have 3 services, 9, 3, and 5 p.m. Well, again, Merry early Christmas to you guys. Have a great day. God bless.